MacBook versus Windows laptops. It is a battle that has existed for over a decade now. Not too long ago, choosing a laptop was simple. If you wanted something sleek, lightweight, and with all-day battery life, the answer was always get a MacBook. But if you needed raw power, gaming capabilities, or the flexibility to connect a ton of accessories, the default verdict was get a Windows laptop. But in 2025, the lines have blurred. It is no longer a simple this or that decision. Instead, the choice has become far more nuanced. Which is why today we are talking about 5 things to keep in mind before buying either a MacBook or a Windows laptop in 2025. Now, I am not going to say that those who have iPhones should go for a MacBook because everyone knows that at this point. But instead, I am going to talk about the rest of the advantages and disadvantages which Windows laptops and MacBooks have. Chalo. With that said, the number one thing we are discussing today is battery life. You see, gone are the days when Windows laptops sucked at delivering good battery life. I mean, some of them still do, but those are mostly your extreme gaming laptops. Because for the most part, your ZenBooks, your VivoBook, your HP Ultrabooks, or any other Windows laptop which is bent on calling itself some other kind of book for some reason offers pretty good battery life. For instance, the recently tested Slim 7i scored 16 hours of battery life, and all the other laptops I tested also offer similar figures. Now, compared to MacBooks, you can see that the M4 MacBook Pro is still scoring one of the highest battery life out there. But the gap is ever so small. In short, if you are solely looking for a laptop with high battery life, then don't just look for MacBooks because you can save some money and buy a good Windows laptop as well. If you want some good examples of Windows laptop with high battery life, comment Windows laptop down below and I will give you some recommendations in and around ₹1 lakh. Chalo, with that said, this brings us to point number 2, and that's gaming. And you see, this is a pretty interesting point because recently MacBooks have gotten pretty good at playing games. In fact, MacBooks deliver same performance in games, doesn't matter if they are plugged in or not. You can play Lies of P, Baldur's Gate 3, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 4 Remake, and quite a few more games. Moreover, all the games that use Apple's iCloud and Game Center also support crossplay. Matlab, you can play a game on your iPad and continue on the same game on your MacBook. But the downside for gaming on Mac is that there aren't a lot of games to begin with. For example, you don't have GTA 5, you don't have Red Dead Redemption, Valorant, and many others. Even the list of Mac games on Steam is also relatively small. Meanwhile, on the Windows laptop side, we know gaming was never a problem. Windows platform supports a humongous number of games with thousands of new titles being added each day. However, one problem or issue with gaming on Windows laptop is performance on battery life versus when plugged in. But this problem also has 2 parts. If your laptop is a full-fledged gaming laptop like one with a dedicated CPU and a GPU, then it is going to feel a performance hit when you unplug it. But if you have one of the latest thinner-light laptops featuring either the new Ryzen AI or the Intel Core Ultra chips like this one over here, then they deliver almost the same exact performance, doesn't matter if they are plugged in or not. So to sum it up, gaming on Mac is small, but whatever games are available, they run pretty well. And gaming on Windows is huge, but not all games run on all laptops, and there is difference between running games on battery versus when running them while plugged in, except for some of the latest laptops featuring the latest chips. So now that gaming is clear, let's move on to point number 3, which is future upgradability. So upgrading on Mac is not possible, like at all. Meanwhile, Windows laptops do offer some sort of upgradability, but that isn't all there is to it. You see, because all the new MacBooks in 2025 doesn't matter if it's MacBook Air, MacBook Pro, iMac, Mac Mini or anything else, all of them come with 16GB RAM as standard. Meanwhile, on Windows laptops, there's still no similar protocol. Many laptops come with 8GB, 16GB, 32GB or even more RAM. But as I mentioned just now, Windows laptops are upgradable. Apart from thinner light and creator laptops which have soldered RAM, almost all Windows laptops can be upgraded very easily. You can upgrade the memory, the storage, the battery or even the Wi-Fi cards very easily and for very cheap as well. I mean, recently Asus showcased its newest set of gaming laptops which are even more easy to upgrade. Meanwhile, Apple still charges you an arm and a leg if you want to upgrade either the RAM or the SSD. Now this brings us to point number 4, and that is accessories and ports. Oh wait, that rhymed. Now in this department, things have already changed for Macs, and for Windows laptops, they are about to be changed very soon. I am of course talking about the Thunderbolt 5 port. But before I talk about it in detail, understand that almost all the other ports like an HDMI port and SD card slot are available on both platforms. Now, one small issue with Macs is that you cannot find Type A port on any MacBook whatsoever, but it's a trend which we have also started seeing on some Windows laptops. But that's not the main topic here, because Thunderbolt 5 is coming and it is going to change a lot of things. Take the example of Asus's XG Mobile external GPU. Now, bear with me, all of this will make sense in a second. You see, this thing is an external GPU for certain laptops from Asus, or rather it used to be. Because earlier it used something proprietary called an XG Mobile port to connect to the laptop because Thunderbolt 4 port didn't have the required bandwidth. Guess what? Thunderbolt 5 does meet the bandwidth requirement, and as a result, these external GPUs can now connect to any Thunderbolt 5 enabled laptop with just one single cable. Meaning, as long as your Windows laptop has a Thunderbolt 5 port, you can connect an external GPU and make any laptop a gaming laptop. I repeat, with Thunderbolt 5, you can make any Windows laptop a gaming laptop. Now, on Macs, I don't think these external GPUs will work, primarily because of driver issues, platform restrictions, yada yada yada. It's a mess. But what I told you was just one of the uses of the upcoming Thunderbolt 5, which is currently available on M4 Pro chip MacBooks and above. And we will soon see them come to many Windows laptops as well. And finally, the last point to consider is that MacBooks are not available in 2-in-1 form factor. Be it a touchscreen, be it a 360-degree display, none of these are available on any MacBook as of February 2025. Now, I personally do not find any use for a touchscreen on a MacBook or any other laptop, but I do know some people who want a touchscreen. One of them is my boss, who was asking for the recommendation for a budget touchscreen laptop recently. And it goes without saying, but Windows laptops are available in multiple form factors, be it touchscreens, be it tablet mode, be it dual screens, be it folding screens, and basically everything else you can imagine. So in conclusion, I just want to say that both Windows laptops and MacBooks have worked on their shortcomings in the recent past to become a great option for consumers. For example, MacBooks have gotten better at gaming and better at providing more connectivity options. Meanwhile, Windows laptops have become better at providing high battery life, and so on and so forth. So in the end, it is the consumer which finally has so many choices. And that was it for the video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you are still confused about which laptop you should buy, then comment down below and I will help to solve your problem. My name is Yatnesh Dubey and I will see you guys next time.